He was born September 4th, 1992, to Mother Connie Craig and Father Scott Craig. He has 4 brothers, Brian, Kenneth, Stephen, and Thomas. At the age of 9, he and his family moved to McDonough. In elementary school, he was a part of the Special Activities for Gifted Education, also known as SAGE. He was a member of both the track and cross-country teams at Ola Middle. He also participated in wrestling during his middle school years. He served as team captain both his 7th and 8th grade years and was the MMSAL champion for his weight class. During this time at Locust Grove High School, he has been an active participant in Beta Club, academic team, wrestling, and cross country. On top of all that, he has currently completed 30+ hours of service work throughout the community. He was the 2010-2011 Beta Club president, as well as captain of the cross country team. Throughout high school, he has managed to earn 16 college credit hours from a total of 5 different AP courses. He was a recipient of the AP Scholar with Honor Award from College Board. He received an ACT score of 33, ranking him in the top 1% of the nation. This past year, he attended Georgia Perimeter College as a dual enrollment student. He is currently on the Dean's List for Outstanding Scholastic Achievement at Georgia Perimeter and has received 2 separate Student of the Semester awards. He is a member of the Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society, as well as the Mu Alpha Theta National Mathematics Honor Society. He will be graduating today with a total of 41 college credit hours, classifying him as a college sophomore. He is already registered in summer courses at Georgia Perimeter for differential equations and organic chemistry. After another semester at Georgia Perimeter, he will transfer his students to the Georgia Institute of Technology to pursue a degree as a chemical engineer. His hard work and perseverance have contributed to his success and allowed him to earn a GPA of 4.23. He is one of the most smartest people that I know, and just by hearing him speak will show you how intelligent he is. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our class of 2012 salutatorian, Matthew Scott Craig.
Thank you, Emily, for the most gracious introduction. There have been many great men and women that have lived throughout the years: scientists, philosophers, political leaders, conquerors, and even athletes. The names of these individuals have been echoed across the ages. I greatly admire one of those men. He died in the year 1992. He was a Russian-born visionary, futurist, author, and intellectual. He wrote over 500 books, was considered one of the big 3 science fiction writers of his time, has both an asteroid and a crater on Mars named in his honor. He coined the terms robotics, psychohistory, and positronic, and developed the 3 laws of robotics. His name was Isaac Asimov, and from within one of his most prominent works comes the following quotation: "Minimum force applied at a cusp moment at the historical fulcrum paves the path to a distant vision. Pursue only those immediate goals which serve the longest perspectives." What he means when he says that is that even if you are given an opportunity, even small, seemingly insignificant actions can have huge effects on your future. That every action you take today should have the singular purpose of working toward your dreams, and that everything the future holds in store for you is something that you build today. For most of my life, I've been different, a rather unique individual. The series of events and actions that have culminated in who I am today began when I was 2. One day, I was playing on a wooden rocking horse, and as many a child would, I fell off of it. Except unlike most, I did not come out unscathed. I nearly bit my tongue in half. It was hanging on by a mere layer of flesh. At the emergency room, there was nothing for them to do. It had to heal on its own. And it did, over time, but I still have the scar. The flesh seems to have healed. However, as you should be able to tell, I've had a speech deficit my entire life. In elementary school, I had a special class to assist with my speaking. It helped a bit, yet I'll likely live with this my entire life. Perhaps, as an indirect result of that, I've never been very talkative. Quite often, I just resign myself to classwork and am not outspoken. As anyone who has ever had a class with me is well aware, my personality began to change over time. As I grew older, I became more of an introvert, not caring for the company of others while preferring solitude and contemplation. I developed a keen mind. I understood concepts discussed in class quicker than most, and I absorbed information like a sponge. However, I didn't know what to do with it. Where was I headed? What was I working toward? What were my goals? At the time, I didn't have any. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't have a plan for my life. I was stagnant, just going with the flow and not doing anything productive. Well, call it maturity, a realization, or even a eureka moment, if you will. But that changed. I saw an opportunity to do something, and I took hold of it, and I have no regrets. Tonight, I come to you not merely as a peer and fellow student at Locust Grove High School. I also come here as an individual who has experienced what many of you will experience over the next year, 2 years, 4 years. Throughout this year, I was at this school for only a handful of hours. I did not attend a single class here. Instead, I partook in a program known as dual enrollment at Georgia Perimeter College. I have taken actual college classes with real college professors and earned actual college credit. I had the mix of good and bad professors, classes that I enjoyed and others that I did not. I know firsthand the pseudo-frustration from needing to take core classes before I can focus on a major. That was the opportunity that I saw. When I learned of dual enrollment, halfway through my junior year, I was unsure of it. Is it worth it to skip my entire senior year? Since I was antisocial and more of an introvert, it wasn't actually that hard of a decision. I saw little to lose with much to gain, and I'm glad that I did it. High school, overall, is meant to prepare you for college. They always stress that things will be difficult, that slacking off will hurt you more than ever before, and that professors won't work with you like high school teachers will. Well, I can say from personal experience that they are right. Only to a degree, though. As many of you can remember, the transition from elementary school to middle school was quite a jump. Going from staying with a single teacher or a pair of teachers the entire day to having 6 teachers, 6 or 7, and having multiple periods on top of the exploratory classes that changed every 6 weeks. And then from middle school to high school, where you had much more control over your classes, and yet your parents still had a solid hand in it. You were still on the same track as every other student, and had only a limited selection of classes for electives. Well, the transition from high school to college is the logical progression of that. The biggest change is that you are now an adult. That means holding all the responsibility. You have full control of which classes you take, of being sure you get there on time, of doing the work, of studying for tests. From my experience, the actual content of the work is not any higher than high school. The only difficulty is having the full responsibility to study and be prepared, because you won't get study guides or in-class review time for the majority of classes. Right now, high school is behind you, and you are at a crossroads. Ahead of you is the opportunity to go to college, to get a degree and end up with a better lifestyle in the future. Will you be one of those to take hold of that opportunity? Not everyone will take advantage of it. Many adults do not have a college degree. I've met several of these personally. I've spoken with numerous middle-aged individuals who, after not receiving a degree, have come back to college to try to get that degree. These people who, after 20, 30 years in the workforce, are just now going back to college. The one thing that all of these people had in common was that they constantly mentioned how they regretted not taking the opportunity when they first had it. These individuals did not take advantage of the opportunity that you now have. Asimov said that everything you do now should work toward your dreams. Think, what do you want to be doing 20, 30, 50 years from now? Do you want to be one of those who are going back to college to get that degree that you never had? Or will you be preparing for retirement, able to relax and enjoy your life and not have any regrets? That will be dependent on the choices that you make now. Do not settle for the minimum. Do not be satisfied with barely getting by. Do not stop moving forward until you have achieved every desire you have. Pursue only those immediate goals which serve the longest perspectives. Thank you.